There's growing concern over building data centers across the country and right here in Northeast Wisconsin.
State lawmakers on both sides of the aisle agree protecting people in Wisconsin from substantially increased utility rates is a key priority. Lawmakers failed to pass any bills regulating data centers last session. Now the conversation continues as some Democrats propose home renovations like adding insulation to homes' basement walls and attics, replacing electric water heaters with new technology, and sealing air leaks. Republicans say nuclear energy should be a priority.
Wisconsin homeowners and residents should not be fronting the bill for big tech. It is imperative that we do everything that we can to shield ratepayers from these absurd rate hikes.
We need to have clean water, air, land, but in order to handle the data center load, we're going to need base load, large scale energy increases.
Lawmakers on both sides agree that we can expect to see legislation next session aimed at getting regulations for data centers set into place.